Okay, so blah, blah, blah. So again, you've gone through a lot this year. You've grown a lot and realized a lot and yada, yada. And you get into the energy, like I said, like, I'm, okay, this has gone on too long. I don't even care. And that is what pushes them into motion. So again, this would not be for you unless you're already coming into that place where you're tired of waiting and you're just kind of like, okay, whatever. Okay, moving on. Gosh, again, we're talking about connections that have been in separation, but I don't think this is the same storyline. Although the same storylines seem to repeat every week, but this is somebody who was in a connection. I don't think anything really sparked a quote-unquote breakup. It seemingly just sort of fizzled out. Oh, geez. Oh, I just did a session for somebody that I think this relates to, and I can't think of how to call you out. Well, you'll know maybe. We were talking about how in the very beginning when they met you, they may have been dating multiple people. And they may have presented themselves as available. Okay? Okay, so they're saying they were hesitant to fully commit to you because of their own insecurities. And, okay, for the person I know this is for, your guides were talking about how they were projecting things onto you because they were dating other people. They projected onto you and assumed you were dating other people. So the reason they went quiet, was because of their own insecurities, but also the way they were projecting onto you, thinking you were seeing other people. I was telling you this in your report. It's very, very crazy because I don't feel like you did anything to make them think you were seeing other people. It was only their projection because of, in the very beginning, they were talking to someone else or they were with someone else or whatever. And they projected that onto you and then got in their head that you were seeing other people. Something they just completely made up in their head. I think you maybe discovered they were maybe not as single as they claimed to be. And again, they're coming through just like during your session that they acknowledged they screwed the whole thing up. And they wish they would have done it differently and been upfront and honest in the beginning. And again, they keep focusing on in the beginning. It was in the beginning. I don't feel like it was, the entire time you knew each other. In the beginning. And now they want to come clean and apologize. I've never really talked about my insecurities before because no one ever really talked to me about those things before. Again, it's coming through how you're different and you ask questions that other people don't ask because everybody else is just sort of on the surface. And so now I feel like not only can I talk about my insecurities with you, I need to. But you, again, this is a recurring theme. You get into the space where you're just kind of over it. I've held the space for you. I've been waiting for you to grow. I'm kind of over it. And that's when this person decides to come back in. But your guys are saying you need to know that the problem did not stem from you. The problem stems from them, from their insecurity, from them projecting shit onto you. They're saying I think this came through for you on your report too. They're saying that you really need to listen to your intuition, and that your intuition is also helping you understand why this person did what they did, why they behaved the way they behaved. And they are, it's so funny to see how people's the same storyline runs for different people. It's so crazy. This person's going to reach out and apologize and kind of explain their insecurity, and it's going to bring closure for you. It's going to help you forgive, and stop you from, what did I do? What could I have done different? Yada, yada. It wasn't you. Everybody that's been in these connections that like sparked growth, and then we went our separate ways and did the growing and stuff, it's coming back around to either get closure or reconciliation. Okay, I'm supposed to say, so this is a thing. Like I said, that these connections were in separation, and you were holding the space, and you had to go through your things, they had to go through theirs, and now they're coming back around to either give you closure or for reconciliation. And for the ones who do not reconcile, I'm supposed to say that this was necessary, because you had to go off on your own last year to go through your stuff. So had you stayed with this person or broke up with this person and moved on to someone else, you would not have had the space to do all that. And as with everybody, we have to go through our quote-unquote mistakes so we can see what it is we do want, right? We have to go through the experience of cheaters and liars and immature people, so that we move forward thinking, okay, I don't want anybody immature. I don't want a cheater. We have to go through the bad things so we can appreciate the good when we get them, and so we know what to look for. And that's what they're saying. All of this is divine design. None of this was random. And so for the people who don't reconcile, excuse me, they're saying that, they're going to meet somebody new who's going to be the opposite of the people you were holding space for. They're going to cherish you, and they're going to make you feel like $1 million. And specifically, I'm getting that it's someone who has faced their own, tough times, but they've remained gentle. And you're going to meet them when you're at a low point. Nope, when they're at a low point, because you're how do I say this? You're being an empath HSP and being able to, you know how people can present to the world, I'm fine, everything's fine. You're going to be able to feel that they're going through something, and it's, your kindness and your acceptance is what brings them out of it. This is interesting. So for the people who go on and they meet a new person, this new person, excuse me, again, they're at some kind of low point that you help bring them out of. But on some level, it's like they don't quite feel like they're good enough, which is sad. But it's like you inspire them to keep growing, to be good enough, and to show you every day how grateful they are to have you. They don't feel like they're good enough because you have this ability, like I said, like you're an empath or HSP, or you have a warmth. And so it's like every day they're trying to show you how grateful they are. This person may not have the cleanest past. As they showed like a lot of hard times, and they may have a lot of tattoos or something, because they're showing me how like somebody that has tattoos, but it's like all kind of like a map of their life. You know what I mean? And there's something about the way you accept them, I know you've come from, a harsh life, and, that tells me what a survivor you are. Like, you don't see their past as a bad thing. You see it as, look what you made it through, right? Like, this tells me how strong you are. This tells me how smart you are. and how you're able to see that, like, everything they've been through, excuse me, they'd have every reason to be bitter, and they didn't become bitter. They're still kind, and especially to you, they're like gentle, and they adore you, and this feels so much better. They may have some like scars, physical scars. They definitely have emotional scars, but they may have some, I don't know, some scars. There's something about how their life was rough, so I don't know, maybe they didn't grow up in the best household or the best neighborhood or the best something, a lot of struggle and scars and tattoos, but they feel so lucky to have somebody like you. And you meet them when they're kind of down. And again, it's your energy that pulls them out of it. Like they're just having, a tough moment when you meet them. It feels like they're in this energy of like they're convinced that, no matter what they do, things are not getting easier. Excuse me. Somebody doesn't want me speaking. They're in that kind of energy. I don't know, just as an example, I've pulled myself out of the hustle game, and I'm trying to do everything on the straight and narrow, and it's not like nothing's getting better. Nothing's getting easier. And that's like when you meet them. Maybe through something, through friends, through church, oh my gosh, through church. Okay, so the person I was saying, I think this is for, I just did your report this past week, and we were talking about the person you've been holding space for, that maybe they weren't honest in the beginning, that they had something off to the side or whatever. Okay, and then we were talking about how you're going to go through a phase where you're getting pulled more into your faith, your spirituality, that kind of thing. And now I'm thinking about you meeting somebody through church. So that could be, I don't know, just saying. I don't know why Spirit had me say maybe you meet them through church. But anyway, through something, through friends, through church, through some kind of, I don't know, casual meeting. But this person feels like they haven't had any wins in a long time. And then you come in with your good energy and your understanding and your patience, and they literally are going to cherish you. Because their energy feels like it's, I've had fail after fail after fail, and I keep trying to grow, and I keep trying to do things the right way. And again, it's divine intervention. You are sent in when they are feeling this. And when you have realized what you actually want in another person. But this person has not felt loved. They have not felt seen. They have not felt safe. And then they meet you, who's kind, present, warm, who can see, your past doesn't dictate who you are. And I think you're strong for getting through that. And I don't judge you for that. And excuse me, you see them in a real way that other people don't see them. You see the worth in them and the value. And you live your life differently than they've ever seen before. Because again, you are an empath. Whether you can be an empath and not be religious or spiritual or whatever, but you still have that healing ability. They're saying you have like a gentleness and a down to earth kind of, like you accept people.